Hello? When the space crew of Apollo 13 were on the mission to the moon, the service modules, one of the oxygen tanks exploded. And when one of the oxygen tanks exploded, they radioed back to Earth and they were saying, and this is a famous phrase, they said, "Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem." Folks, I want to say that we have a problem. I have a problem. You have a problem. We all have a problem. And it's the same problem. And the solution to this problem is the same for everyone. Today I'm going to persuade you to see sin as a problem behind wars and to see Jesus Christ as the only solution to this problem. To those of you who are inclined against this, I want to just share and give you another perspective for this. To those of you who see with the same way with me, I want to encourage, I want to deepen your faith and understanding of this topic. At the same time, I have been preaching and I have been studying the Bible for the last 7 years. I'm also going to use the references from the Bible to support this idea. We're going to talk about three things. First of all, I'm going to talk about the fall of man. Second of all, I'm going to talk about the war in the 20th centuries, the wars in the 20th century. And the third thing I'm going to talk about is salvation from sin. First of all, I want to say when God created heaven and earth, when He created man and woman, and He looked at everything that He created. Genesis 1:31 says that, and He saw, behold, that He created what He looked at everything that He created, and behold, it was very good. And behold, it was very good. He gave them one commandment. He gave them one commandment, and He said that they should not eat, in Genesis 2:17, from the tree of knowledge, good and evil. From the tree of knowledge, good and evil. However, when we read in Genesis chapter 3 that the man has, when the serpent came to Eve and he deceived her, the Bible says she looked at the tree, she saw that it was good for food, it was pleasant for the eyes, it was desirable because it gives a person, makes him wise, makes him know what is good and evil, and she took from the tree and ate. And the Bible says she also gave it to her husband and he did eat as well. When they ate, their eyes opened, they saw what was going on, and this is the beginning when the sin was planted. The sin started growing in these person's life, and generation after generation afterwards. I've talked to you about the fall of man. Now I'm going to share with you about the wars in 20th century. I'm not talking about the previous centuries, I'm just going to take just for the 20th century for example of this. In the 20th century, there was approximately 136 to 148 million people killed as a result of wars. Not as a result of starvation or anything like that, just as a result of wars. 136 to 148 million. If we take the population of the United States, according to census.gov, as of July 4th, 2012, the population was about 314 million people. 314 million people. So basically, if we were to compare this, if we were to take virtually one of every two person in the United States, one of every second person, just taking it in half, that is a lot of people. That is a lot of people dying as a result of sin. I remember this picture one time that I saw drawn by an artist, that this wife, she's standing by the window, she's looking at out the window, and her child is sitting on the windowsill, and they're waiting for her husband to return. She's waiting for her husband to return, but she also knows he's not going to come back. He's not going to come back, possibly. And then these words were written. This quotation was written, and it says that you are always nearby. You are always nearby. You may be far away, but in the memories. If everything else is taken away, the only things remaining is the memories. And so many people did not return. So many people did not return from wars, especially World War I and World War II to their families because of the sin. There are people who say that, look, because there's suffering, because there are wars, that means God does not exist. Wars and suffering, there are wars and suffering. That does not prove that God does not exist, nor does it disprove the existence of God. But it does show to what extent, to what evil man is capable of going to, what is in a person's life. We talked about war as a result of sin. I wanted to also share with you, talk about the salvation from sin, so how a person can be freed from this, how a person can be freed from all of this. In John 8:36, Jesus said that if the Son shall set you free, you shall be free indeed. If the Son shall set you free, you shall be free indeed. All of the wars that begin, they begin from the turmoil inside, and then they go out on the outside. And God said, if Jesus will free you, then you will be free indeed. In 1 John chapter 9, Bible teaches that this purification only can come if a person admits their sin. If a person admits their battles inside, their sins, and they come to God, God is faithful, God is just, and He will clean from all unrighteousness. In conclusion, I persuaded you to see sin as a problem behind wars and to see Jesus Christ as the solution from sin. We talked about the fall of man. We also talked about the wars specifically in the 20th century, and also shared about the salvation from sin. I want to call everyone to, when this is finished, to take a brochure that I have here, take it home, study it over, read it over, review it, think about it, so that you can gain more knowledge, more understanding about this. Coming back to this moment of Apollo 13, when they radioed to the earth and they said, Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Well, I want to say that heaven sent a message to earth, and heaven said, Earth, we have a solution. Earth, we have a solution. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.